And we're live.
Can I tell you guys something funny about since the last time I got on your show? I'm sponsored by a weed company, and I'm paid to exclusively smoke Tradecraft Farms ganja.
That's awesome. Congrats.
And I get all the free weed I can possibly smoke. I get all these, and I get money. Like I literally am sitting on a QP of fire right now that they just
dreams can come true.
Dreams can come true.
Dreams.
So you're just walking around your giant, exotic car warehouse ripped off your ass, just like that one's pretty tight. I like that.
How do I get it to you?
Because I have other people parking the cars. I don't have to. I can be ruling. I can be king of the castle up here on the second floor.
But how does it arrive? I mean, they don't mail it to you, right?
It's grown locally. I go to downtown. I get it at the grow op.
That would make sense. Okay.
I ride my Vespa to Skid Row, go past several thousand tents, and park behind a gate where there's people with guns, and I get big bags of chronic.
So you're not just doing the oil pens. You're smoking the regular flower. I can't.
Yeah. No, I prefer flower, but I can't. I don't know if I could actually smoke inside right now, but my contractors put a fucking fear of God in me about it. They pretty much were like, if I wouldn't try if I were you, kind of thing. So those are for, I don't want to I could bring the computer outside. We could just start fucking blazing. I have golden joints. I literally have joints that are wrapped in gold. It's hysterical.
I've smoked those before.
Kyle is dying over there right now.
I've got 92
come down. I'll hook you up.
I'm on federal probation. I've got 92 days, 4 hours, 6 minutes, and 27 seconds before I can get back on the.
You got a countdown clock?
Yeah. I got the William Wallace freedom counter here.
Oh no shit! 92 days. So by
92 days, 4 hours, 6 minutes, and 12 seconds. October the 2nd, I am on an airplane heading toward Denver, and I am staying for at least a month. I've already rented a house. I've got a 5-bedroom house rented. I got a bunch of buddies coming out.
That's all you're gonna do is smoke ganja illegal,
smoke weed, and do all sorts of fucking activities that are fun on weed. We're gonna go skydiving. We're renting. We're going to one of those places where you can rent an entire miniature zoo. So they're gonna bring lemurs. They're gonna bring lemurs and capuchin monkeys,
for a children's birthday party.
For a children's birthday party. They're gonna bring monkeys and shit to the house, and we're gonna play with the monkeys. I'm gonna hire a clown.
They bring it to you.
Yeah, they bring a petting. It's petting zoo on the move.
Petting zoo brought to you.
I'm gonna try to get them to let me go for a pony ride. I'm doing everything silly I can. We're going to sword combat classes on edibles, and I'm hoping that we get
you have really been plotting the fuck
for so long.
Let's recommend axe throwing 100%. You must do
that there.
Throwing.
Yeah,
you got to do it.
I noticed
super fun.
Yeah,
my wife got me blacksmithing lessons for my birthday.
Are you calling your wife the same person? The way you said it.
I just was tired of saying the word wife, and this was before we were married. I started to say girlfriend, and then converted because we're married now. But she got me blacksmithing lessons too, and I made a fucking dinner triangle. That's fun as hell. You're just swinging hammer. It's great, making sparks.
How long did that take? Were you just there for a day, and they're immediately all right, get going, build. What do you want to build? And they'll show you.
You want to fucking. It's one of those things where the pro just makes it look. So you go down there to this big forge, and there's this dude who's got a right arm that's like this, and a left arm that's like regular, and this motherfucker goes, okay, we're gonna make a dinner triangle, and I'm gonna demo it for you, and this dude makes one start to finish in about 15 minutes, and you go, okay, well, how long is that gonna take me? And he goes, well, I'm swinging a 3-kilogram hammer, which I later would learn is absolutely superhuman. and he goes, you guys are going to be swinging a 1-kilogram hammer. And so this dude makes the thing, and he goes, it's probably going to take you guys about 3 hours. It took us 6.5 hours, by the end of which I could no longer feel my upper body.
Wait, are you there? Are you there with a group of other people? And so it's like a craft thing where you're looking over like that fucking bitch. His triangle's coming along faster and better. At least I'm beating Cindy though.
It was
like it's one of those.
Well, I wasn't saying that bitch because it was my wife who got me the thing, and she was right there next to me making her dinner triangle. But it was her and me and two of my friends. So we got a private class, like Kyle's talking about, but they don't come to you. You have to go to their forge.
You just take a straight piece of stock, put two bends in it, and now you've created the triangle. What am I missing?
No, it was a little more than that. So there's a main triangle and then a clanker, right? And so the main triangle, you'd start with a square rod, and you'd put these twists in it to make it look like, you ever see like a wrought iron gate that's got the twists?
Sure.
So you'd make the twists, and then you'd make the bends, and it had to have this like sort of loop-de-loop thing on top of it to hang it from something. And that's all from one piece. So if you fuck it up, you got to start from a fresh piece. So that takes kind of a while. And then the clanger is another one that was just a straight piece with a looper around it and then a thing kind of welded to the end of it. And with a 1 kilogram hammer, like, you just have to hit it way more fucking times than you do with it, because there's just not that much mass. And
did you try the 3 kilogram hammer?
Oh my God, I got like 5 swings, and I was done. I mean, the number of times you got to swing this hammer is deep in the hundreds. I'm 500-600 swings we're talking about with these hammers. This guy was an animal.
He didn't do any like balancing work, so he was just jacked as can be on the right side. And then he should be firing off some left-hand curls late at night.
I mean, it must be. He's
like a Homer Simpson style. He's a Homer Simpson style arm wrestling champion. He shows him the left, like, come on, let's go, and they're plunking the money down. Then he pulls out right.
I am not left-handed. No, but if you could find blacksmithing classes while you're out in Colorado, like, it was really fun. It was a lot harder than I expected, but it was a good time.
That's a really fun.
You get some glass blowing too, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I want to do like things that it's okay to be stoned while you do them, and maybe better. But glass blowing, like, what if I forget to inhale? Like I just drop dead instantly with.
Wait, but you said you want to go real sword fighting.
It's like the opposite of coughing into the bong. The bong coughs into you.
yeah. They're not real swords. They're like heavy plastic or something, and you wear like full protective gear. Like you've got like they make gear for that.
I thought you were going like those videos you showed me of like Icelandic people who get really into those contests. I'm like,
Full Metal
you shouldn't do that sober, much less stoned. It's like it's just some Igor, some 6'8" guy swinging at Sven, some 6'10" guy with a real sword. Yeah,
that's called.
Aren't they wearing suits of armor?
Yeah,
but
like,
right?
You see them swing and like get hit in the head, and it's like, as a child, you remember like being like, armor, it's like impervious, and then you like see the sword go away, and there's a huge dent, and the guy takes it off, and he's bleeding.
There's one of the
and there's no money in it.
Armor's not good. Like basic football uniforms are better than fucking medieval armor.
yeah, old armor kind of sucked. It really did.
It was good for what it was, defending against, though, right? Like for the longest time, there was nothing that could pierce that shit. You were a walking tank.
Pierced it, but like I'm afraid that if you hit my head, that sheet metal is not an effective dispersion method.
Might make it worse.
Well, that's why a lot of those guys would carry around those hammers. It's like a weird like 2.5 foot long hammer, and one side is like flat and knurled, and the other side is a point. Right?
It's basically like a meat mallet.
And then they would also the knights would also have those long slender daggers that could make their way through the joints of the armor to like go for kill shots like under the armpit and stuff. Yeah, that was not a fun time to be alive. Of course, you could have been.
Your thought process is: you see that knight over there? I'm going to take this mallet and make half as much room inside of his helmet right now. Fuck.
I know, like medieval times. What was like the breakdown? Everybody didn't have really nice ass plate metal.
No.
If you were rich, you had the plate metal, and so like. But if that guy got to the front lines, was it like the book Woody and I are reading, The Shard Bear, where like you get hit with a regular sword, and unless they find a nice little groove, it's like, deflected, and now you're dead because you were wearing a bullshit burlap sack because you're a farmer.
So just swords alone at certain points were like prestigious, expensive items, right? So like the suits of armor, those guys are riding around in Maseratis, okay? Like those are the richest noble families that can afford to get that armor made.
Yeah,
and
I prefer
they're
Maybach
already
suits, please. Only Maybach suits. I like the baller.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
It's got to be
And
leather
like-
and suede lined, two-tone.
And then you've got like men at arms who are wearing like mostly leather. Like it's mostly leather they're wearing. Maybe they've got some chainmail.
Jerkins. Yeah.
Yeah, the leather jerkins. You know, they got those little cloth hoods on, and they're lucky if they've got like a real fucking sword. It depends when you go, but like if you're talking about like when the English were invading France, like the premise of that movie, The King, I think on Netflix. You know, that big battle they had where they beat the French, where they lured them into that field that was soggy. It was like a plowed field and had rained the night before, and it's a crazy cool tacticians like video you can watch on YouTube about how the English king like noted that like looks like it's going to be rain.
Wow,
it's predicting
rain in Western Europe.
Operation Soggy Boots.
Like if it doesn't rain.
So
if it doesn't rain, they're destroyed. And so the English just sit there and wait on the French to come to them, and they're so bogged down that they can't move quickly enough. And the English are just raining arrows on them every soggy step they're taking and holding the line. And they defeated like multiple waves of men at arms and a huge amount of cavalry. Even though they're outnumbered, it's said I think 4-1, something like that. Like I don't know, 3,200 to 8 or something like that. So the numbers are kind of fuzzy because it's so long ago. But they ended up defeating the French at that battle. It's a pretty cool YouTube video, or you can just watch the movie, which is a little bit more stylized, a little bit more fun because it ends with the French king. It's called The King, I think. It's on Netflix. At the end, the king, the French king, is like played by he's a really good actor, but he was the Twilight guy, right? You know, the Pattinson.
Oh, he was in
Robert
The Lighthouse.
Oh,
Yeah,
Robert. He does a great
movie.
French accent. Like the English king shows up, and the English king shows up to the French camp before the battle, and he's like, "We should there's no need for all of our men to die here on this battlefield. Why don't we, you versus me? And if I lose, no Englishman will come back for 100 years. And if you win, then or if I win, then when your father dies, I will be ruler of France." Like, I'm not even saying I take over now. Like that seems fair, right? And he's just in this snooty French accent, like just, "You are here to surrender to me. You will surrender." And he's just like screaming, "Surrender, surrender." He's like, "No, I'm not going to surrender. That's not what this is about. Fight me or die." And like at the end of the battle, like they're all fighting and rolling around in the mud, and the French king rolls up in like a black suit of the slickest armor you've ever seen, and like does some like kata with with his blade, and then falls in the mud when he tries to like rush the English king, and he can't do anything because it's so fucking muddy. And the English king just nods at his men, and like 8 like regular dudes just come in and beat the dog shit out of the French king. It's a great way to end a movie. It's fun.
He's got that murdered out
I think
suit of armor.
Does he get like a French girl or something at the very end? Do I have this right?
That sounds more like Braveheart or something. I don't think so. It's been a little bit since I've seen it though.
Yeah, I forget the details.